If you think anti-Semitism is over, you clearly haven't read our comment section. You might think discrimination against Jewish people, which is known as anti-Semitism, and Romani people, called anti-romani-ism, ended with the Holocaust and World War II. But this kind of hatred still thrives in 2016, and it's popping up especially in conversations surrounding the presidential election. To talk about this firsthand, I've enlisted the help of journalist Dana Schwartz.
Thanks, Franchesca. Did you know that outspoken anti-Semite and former KKK leader David Duke has endorsed Donald Trump for president? Or that on several occasions, Trump has retweeted accounts run by neo-Nazis? Like, more than once. Back in July, the Republican candidate for president even tweeted an image of Hillary Clinton in front of piles of money with a six-sided star declaring she's the most corrupt candidate ever. Of course, Trump denied that it was an anti-Semitic reference, claiming that it was a sheriff's star, or regular star. But it doesn't take a history expert to realize that this lousy excuse for a meme is reminiscent of Nazi propaganda, which portrayed Jewish folks as greedy and corrupt in order to stir up public hatred of them. I'm not even reading too much into that image. It was literally posted on a neo-Nazi website, implying that Hillary was owned by Jewish bankers. White supremacist Trump supporters have even gone as far as creating a Google Chrome extension, which highlighted common Jewish last names with 3 parentheses whenever they appeared online. That way, anti-Semites could specifically recognize when a Jewish reporter wrote an article and then harass them about it. Trump denies that he promotes anti-Semitism, but just this month, his own son casually joked that if Republicans were acting like Hillary Clinton, the media would be warming up the gas chamber right now. It's important to hold people accountable in instances like that where they casually refer to the Holocaust, because these remarks minimize the tragedy and the devastation it caused, and they encourage white nationalists who still exist today.
Part of the reason so many don't take anti-Semitism and anti-Romani-ism as seriously as we should is because of how we talk about it. If there's anything we've learned over 60+ episodes of Decoded, it's that our speech is often influenced in ways we don't realize. Lots of misinformation has shaped how we speak about the Holocaust and the people who were affected by it in both the past and present. We've even made this huge mistake on our own show, which is what inspired us to tackle the things people often get wrong when talking about the Holocaust today. Misconception number 1. It's okay to use the Holocaust as a comparison or a joke. In our video, 5 excuses for slavery that need to stop, we used the example of the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. as proof that America has seriously acknowledged the Holocaust as a tragedy versus the lack of an African-American museum to acknowledge the transatlantic slave trade. This was both out of line and incorrect on our part. Since releasing that episode, the National Museum of African-American History and Culture had its official opening in Washington, D.C. on September 24th, 2016, which is great news. Still, it's not fair to pit 2 distinct tragedies like the Holocaust and American slavery against one another to try and make a point. But this kind of comparison happens a lot, with people likening the Holocaust to everything from abortion to the meat industry. And casually calling someone a grammar Nazi or feminazi is not only eye-rollingly uncreative, but totally undermines how awful the Nazis actually were. I mean, there are people alive right now that actually survived Nazi Germany. What they went through is nothing like someone going in on one of your tweets. Your is possessive. Your is a contraction, as in you are. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. And look, no one died. Misconception number 2. The Holocaust was an example of white-on-white genocide. Dana, you want to take this one?
The Holocaust specifically targeted Jewish and Romani people as not white because of pseudoscience that claimed they were inferior to the Aryan race and should be killed to improve the overall health of the German people.
As I've mentioned in previous episodes, whether we're talking about Aryan, Caucasian, or Irish, throughout history, whiteness has been a moving target, with certain groups being granted or denied white status. And because of this, there are numerous misconceptions as to where Jewish and Romani people fall in terms of whiteness, largely because both groups predate the idea of whiteness itself. Misconception number 3. The Holocaust only targeted Jewish people. In our 5 excuses for slavery video, we also made the mistake of saying that Germany subjected millions of other ethnic groups to genocide in addition to the Jewish people. While this was partially a case of misspeaking, it does highlight a common misconception. Too often, it's glossed over that the Holocaust was also an effort to eradicate Romani people, as well as homosexuals, people with disabilities, Jehovah's Witnesses, Catholic priests, as well as millions of Polish people, Hungarians, Czechs, and other Eastern Europeans. They even set up a program to sterilize black children.
TLDR, the Nazis hated lots of people.
Misconception number 4. America was 100% the hero of the Holocaust. Because the role America played in the Holocaust is often oversimplified in classrooms and pop culture as entirely positive, you might be surprised to learn our nation's involvement wasn't totally flawless. In 1939, the US literally turned away a ship of 900 German Jewish immigrants, 254 of which ended up being killed in concentration camps. Shortly after that, the US rejected a proposal to allow 20,000 Jewish children to come to the US for safety.
The Nazis even garnered a lot of support in the US. In 1939, 20,000 members of an American Nazi group called the German-American Bund rallied together in Madison Square Garden. Major American companies like Standard Oil and DuPont Chemical did business with the Nazi regime and even recruited former Nazi scientists after the war. And Henry Ford, considered one of the greatest American inventors of all time, was an outspoken anti-Semite and Nazi sympathizer.
The Holocaust may have taken place in the past, but its legacy still lives on today, so we should give it the respectful treatment it deserves. Thanks to our guest Dana, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Decoded.